Good evening, good morning, and good day, lovely ones of the internet. I decided to hop on this video to talk a little bit about loneliness, because loneliness is something that I have been suffering with a lot in the last 5 years especially. And I think actually, so apparently there's a few different types, there's a few different types of loneliness. And I think before I was suffering from a lot of emotional loneliness that I didn't realise, because I had so many friends and we were all really close, and we'd spend lots of time together and we'd talk about all of our trauma with each other and all of that. So it did feel very close, but actually there wasn't that level of safety within these friendships and authentic deepness with I forgot how to say that word, mutual respect and genuine love. And the connections I have in my life are very rich of genuine love and authenticity and compatible dreams and ideals, futures, lifestyles. But I don't have many friends anymore, and that's not a bad thing at all. But I don't have many friends that live where I live, and so I often feel socially lonely, and it's hard. And so I decided to talk a bit more about it. I just read this thing. I'm going to read it to you, because this is a thing. Loneliness isn't just a mental thing, it's very much a physical thing. And you can kind of forget that, but this thing I've just read. Loneliness enhances risk for immune dysregulation and the pain, depression, and fatigue symptom cluster. What happens after years of loneliness? Social isolation and loneliness lead to high risk of high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, anxiety, depressions, memory issues, and even death. Victim to issues. I can't read right now, but it's also chronic inflammation, cancer, sensitivity to viruses, affections, blah 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 blah, all from being fucking lonely. Isn't that so sad? It's so sad, and it's actually so obvious though, because we're social creatures and we need to be around people and feel connected and supported. And I don't have enough of a support network here in the city that I live. It's definitely got a lot better, and I have people that aren't that far away that I see on not a regular basis, but I see them. But I'd love to be able to just call a friend up and be like, oh, let's hang out tonight, let's do this. And I have one friend that I can do that with. And so I am incredibly lucky, and I'm not discrediting that. But I could feel much more fulfilled and less lonely. I know that for sure. So yeah. Next, I am going to give you guys and myself ways to tackle loneliness, to remind myself and to go on out there and just do the damn thing. And these are my nighttime goggles as well. They're good for stopping the blue light rays coming into my brain and affecting my sleep, although I am very affected with my sleep at the moment because I live in a central flat now and there's sirens go past very often, lots of police cars, ambulances, all the things that make sirens, they're there, and drunk people shouting, and just cars in general, because I'm in a historic flat, so you're not allowed to change the windows into double glazing because historically that wouldn't have been accurate, or some bullshit, absolute bullshit. So yeah, you hear everything outside, and I'm a little bit concerned about how cold it's going to be in the winter, but this is Scotland. We live, we move, we figure it out. So, first step into not being lonely. Go get some hobbies. So, I have to go climbing. I've been a couple times. I made a friend who goes climbing. I met some really nice people, and I haven't been going. And it's like, just go. Just go. And then it's weird because the lonely, sad part of me is saying, oh, but it's still gonna take so long to actually make real friends. And it's like, well, it's gonna take even longer, darling, if you don't even go out and do things and you don't meet people. Because this is the thing, I don't drink anymore. I'm mostly sober. Sometimes I have little bits where I'm not, and then I get to meet lots of lovely people, but on average I'm not taking anything or doing anything. So how the fuck am I gonna meet people? You're just not. So yeah, go get some hobbies, do things, be in spaces, but the next thing to that is consistently go. You have to consistently show up at spaces that you enjoy, and I think that leads me to the next step, which is try and do one thing at a time. So that's my rule number 3 of unlonelying yourself, is to take things one thing at a time, which can ensure that you are consistent, and that can ensure that you will actually make friends, unless, well, you know, you might not necessarily make friends, but you just have to keep trying, don't you? Number 4. I'm just making this all up as I go on, by the way, but it just seems to be working. The 4th step into making new friends is to be slow. And this isn't really advice for me, because I have mastered taking connections slowly. Unless I'm at a festival. I clearly can't do that very well at a festival, but I do take connections slowly in my usual day-to-day life, because I have learned that it is emotionally irresponsible to connect too deeply with strangers, because trust is built over time, and yeah, you can just ensure, I feel like I've said that word a lot, you can ensure that you have a much more stable foundation, stable roots for something to grow. Yeah, so that's not advice for me, that's advice for anybody else watching. Take connections slow. I think my 5th tip for battling loneliness is to embrace all of the exchanges that you have with humans. Say you're getting a coffee or you're walking down the road, or at your work. You know, there's so many opportunities to connect more with people, and to not only just connect, but just to value that exchange, no matter how small it is. Like if you're with a barista, they're giving you your coffee, just have the courage to, you know, maybe say, oh, I like your top, or do you enjoy working here, or how's your day going? Anything that can really chip away at this doomy, gloomy loneliness that you're feeling. And you can enjoy eye contact with strangers in the street. A little smile can go a long way. And at work. But obviously, interacting with people does put yourself out to be potentially rejected. And so that's hard. Say if you smile at a random person in the street and they look at you like this, that might hurt. And so it's not easy. You know, it's not simple to just go out there into the world in no matter what space, whether it is your work or in the street or actually going to hobbies to meet people. It's not an easy thing. And so take the small wins and congratulate yourself for any time that you push yourself out of your comfort zone and show up in spaces, show up in any space to try and form new connections. Give yourself a pat on the back, basically. And that brings it back round to the hobby thing, is you really have to go to things that you are genuinely interested in. Because if you're only going to meet people, you might end up being too needy. And people can feel that, unfortunately. They can feel when people can sense when you're desperate to be friends with people and needing that connection. So if you're too involved with wanting to get involved with other people, it might not go very well, depending on the hobby. There's probably loads of hobbies where it's very good to be eager to meet people, but in some places and some spaces it's good to really just genuinely be interested in the activity that you're doing, and to really try and let go of the outcome of meeting new people, making new friends. Really get stuck in, and then things very usually naturally happen. So what I'm trying to take from the advice I'm giving is, I really need to take one new hobby at a time and consistently go and hope for the best. So I think the main thing that I'm interested in is climbing. I'm feeling mostly pulled to that, so I need to start going consistently and stop worrying about all the other things I want to do. Do that. And one last thing for tackling loneliness is stop texting your friends all day. If you have friends, very close friends, who don't live in the same city as you, and it makes you feel really connected and loved and whole and happy to text them all day, you're not actually going to get everything that you want out of a friendship that way. You're actually blocking yourself up from making new connections with people who are there in real life. And it's not to say that you shouldn't maintain connections with people who don't live in the same place, but an alternative idea would be to schedule phone calls with them, because then you're getting actually deeper connection with that person, but also less frequent, which is stopping you getting so distracted from being out there in the world. Like, we need to stop spending so much time on our phones. This is known. And yeah, so that's one thing I'm doing, is I'm digitally detoxing. And I think that's partly why I'm feeling more lonely, because I'm not having really many conversations with people on my days off, which is why I have to make more effort. Anyway, it's another video from me. Have a wonderful evening. 555, just saw 555. That's the number I've been saying a lot recently. And yeah, I hope to make more videos soon. And yeah, enjoy your life. Basically, enjoy your life.